The month of May was honestly such a fun reading month, and also I got out of a reading slump that I thought I was going to be stuck in forever. And you want to know why? Because I graduated. And before I got to the point of that graduation, I was losing my mind. Nothing sounded fun anymore, and I genuinely couldn't get myself to read. But I'm so glad to say that I am a graduate. I got my bachelor's degree in English, and I'm just so happy to be done and also happy to get my spark back in reading. So let's talk about the books that I read in the month of May. Honestly, there were some really good books. There were some really good books. And I am glad that I didn't overexert myself, and also glad that I didn't force myself to read books that I really wasn't feeling just to get a higher reading count. Honestly, this was probably gonna be my best reading month as far as quality and enjoyment goes. So also there will be light spoilers in this video about these books, so if there are any books that you do not want to hear any spoilers about, I will put timestamps in the description or in the comments about which book I'm talking about at which time. Also, my nails are very cute. I got them from Lily Nails Art on Instagram. Beautiful press-on nails. Love them. They're gorgeous, stunning. So if I'm talking with my hands a lot, if you hear some clatter in the microphone, that's why. I have a stack right there of like 7 or so, I don't know, library books that I need to return because honestly, I'm not really in the mood to read them. But one of the books that I did read, which granted, it's a short novella, but it was still enjoyable. It still also broke my heart, but it was a great introduction to reading again at the beginning of May, and that is And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer by Fredrik Backman. And honestly, as someone whose grandpa had dementia, it's really got me right there in my heart. But it was such a good, heartfelt story. It is 70 pages long. It is 76 pages long. Great length, great story. It really hits you where it hurts, but it's also beautiful, just like any of his other books. But I just really enjoyed this one. I ended up giving this 5 stars. I don't know. I did spread it out over a few days, I think like 3 days, because the first 2 days I tried to read, I was really not in the mood to read, but I knew I wanted to read something to get me out of that. And the third day I read, honestly, the last like 40 or so, maybe 50 pages in that one night, and they are very short, you know. It's just, I don't know, it's just really good. I really enjoyed it. The writing was great. It really got you into the grandpa's head as well as the little boy's head, and just seeing the back and forth of the timelines of him with his wife when they were younger, and then him and his wife once she passed. I don't know, it was very beautiful. The second book that I read was actually an audiobook arc that I got on NetGalley, and that was The Sirens by Emilia Harr. And let me just tell you, if Emilia Harr has a book and I'm not reading it, check in on me. Check in on me. As you know, I read Wayward last year. I want to say, was it the middle of the year? I don't know. But anyways, that was one of my favorite top books of the year. It was so good. I highly recommend it. My local book club is actually reading this book this month, Wayward. So I'm like, do I want to reread it? Do I have time? Like, not really. But I will be participating in that. But The Sirens, so good. That was another 5-star read. I only have 2 of those, so just saying. It doesn't take a lot for me to have a 5-star read, but that, whatever. The Sirens was a 5-star read. I just love the going back in time and in the present, and how the two of those, the people in the past and in the present, intermingle, how they're locked in together, how their stories connect and make sense with each other. And Emilia Hart just does it so well, so enjoyable. Many twists and turns of things that I did not see coming. And so far, these 2 books all have to do with how trash men are. So if you have not read it, it follows 2 sisters in the present in 2019, and then 2 sisters in the past in the 1800s. The sisters in the past in the 1800s are prisoners on the ship. They are traveling on their way to their imprisonment, and some stuff happens. These sisters, things happen. The twist with them, did not see it coming at all. I thought that was insanely incredible the way that it was done. The man in this story, hate him real bad, and his last name is Hennessy. And if you know me, I don't like Hennessy. Hennessy's nasty. Anyways, I really enjoyed it. If you have not read any of Emilia Hart's books, I cannot recommend them more. Of course, start with Wayward and then make your way to the Sirens. And hopefully a book will come out next year or the year after. It doesn't matter. I'm going to get it. And I do need a physical copy of the Sirens. So trust and believe I will have that on my shelf. But right now, where am I shelf? Oh, that's Wayward. And I love it. I love it. That is the book of the month version. I need to get the regular version, but you get what I mean. The next book that I read is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I gave this a 3.75, and it was simply because while I do love the intent of this is a book for readers, you know, it genuinely is in its entirety and in its skeleton and bones is what it is. Some parts were a bit more confusing than others, not in the sense of I wasn't understanding, but just I just wonder how we got there. And I did listen to this audiobook while I read most of this, and then the last maybe 20% I just listened to the audiobook. Overall, I did really enjoy this. I do need to read The Night Circus this year because I do want to compare the two. I feel like I would like The Night Circus a bit more because that was my first book that I ever read. And I actually started it, but I never finished it. But it's the first book I ever read by Erin Morgenstern. And I just feel like I might like that one a bit more because the premise, it's very haunting in the beginning and like very, oh my God, what's going on vibe. I don't know. This one, it was good. Maybe I need to read it a different time, but I'm not mad at it. I'm really not. The parts that I enjoyed the most were the sprinkles of Alice in Wonderland because I love Alice in Wonderland. I used to watch that movie all the time. I basically have it memorized. I think it's the 1951 version animated movie. And then, of course, the live action one is really good, but I just prefer the original 1951. I don't know if that's the original, but that's the version that I love. You know, I love that that was in here. Every time it would get to like a white rabbit, I'd be like, oh, I know that white rabbit. He's late for a very important date. No time to say hello, goodbye. He's late. I don't know. I just think maybe try reading this, see if you like it. It is, I would say, an acquired taste in the sense of following along in its entirety, but I also think that that's the fun of it because it is a book about books, about what it means to be inside of a book, inside of a story. That sometimes you can read a regular old book where you know you're reading the book, and sometimes you can get a little confused. And I can imagine that that's what it's like for the people that were in this story. It's very whimsical when you think about it. So 3.75, now that I think about it, I could bump this up to a 4-star read, but I think 3.75 is, I think that's a good rating. So we're going to go with this, and we're not going to change it right now. It'll stay 3.75 on my Fable. Thank you. The next book I read, A Little Lamb by Hannah Bonam-Young. Hannah Bonam-Young. I think this book was probably one of the most interesting romance books I have ever read in terms of its formatting and the timeline of events. Because usually you read a romance book, it starts off, it's always the FMC meets the MMC if it's a straight story, you know, and they have an attraction for each other, but they try and push their feelings aside until we get to about that 40 to 60% mark, and then they finally start hunching, and then, you know, like they start a relationship, whatever. This one, we jump right into it. First chapter or two, they're hunching. First chapter or two, she's pregnant. And I was like, I've never, you just want to mess with my settings. Oh, okay. Right. I just think that Bo, wherever you are, I would love a Bo in my life. I don't know. It was just, he was such a good book boyfriend in the sense of he was so attentive. He gave a fuck about her basically from the jump. and he has his own things that he went through. But I'm glad that the two of them got past the, especially Win, with the not knowing, should she say, is she overthinking it? And I'm glad she worked on herself with that, and that he was also there to give her that reassurance to work on herself with that, because she had a shitty ex. And I think he just is everything you would want in a book boyfriend slash real life husband. I don't know, I just love Bo, and I'm just so happy that their story turned out wonderful and beautiful. And this might be one of my favorite romance books. Next to You, Next of Kin, and Set the Record Straight. Don't know which one I want to read next, but I will say that I also love that there were trigger warnings in the beginning of the book, because there were some very, very heavy topics in this book that made it easy for me to brace myself. I knew it was coming in a sense, so it, was helpful that it wasn't a complete surprise, because I feel like some instances where the topics that are discussed in this book would throw me off. But I don't know. I accepted that. It's because it says acceptance on the back. I appreciated that so much, and I really did. I also really like the writing style as well. I thought it was really nice to go in Wynn's head a lot. We got to hear her inner thoughts, and I was just like, girl, I feel you. Anytime Bo did something even slightly attractive because of her hormones, she was like, I gotta climb him like a tree. Like, girl, I get it. Me too. The next book, the fifth book that I read, is actually the fourth book in the Mortal Instruments series. I almost said the fifth book because it's the fifth book that I'm about to talk about, but it's the fourth book in the series. And that is City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare. Let me tell you something. I don't know what it is about this series, but I'm in a chokehold. It is so good. It is so good. I have yet to read even an adult fantasy, much less a YA fantasy or just a YA adult whatever series, that has me so attached to a cast of characters. Every single person that are on the good side, I can't stop thinking about them. I finished this book and I was just like, I need more. Like, that's my family. And I need to make sure they're okay. Mind you, this series came out in like 2013, 2015. Between that, this is the old series. But it is so well written. It is so fun. It's so freaking gripping. And I love this cover. I love these covers. I have well, you can't see it on the shelf, but the one above this one, I have the first three, including this one. And then I have the Infernal Devices. Yeah, the Infernal Devices. And I just love the covers of these books so much. I love the characters. And I'm very stressed. I'm extremely stressed. But I did give this book a 4.5. Now that I think about it, I could really bump it up. It could be a 5-star book, honestly. I think I'm going to change it on Fable. No. Actually, this can be a 4.75. Really a 4.8 if we're being technical. 4.5 does not do this book justice, and I can't give this a 5-star read because I read book 5 of this same series, which is City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare, and I actually read it on my Kindle, who's charging. Let me see how much charge. Oh, perfect. It's on 79%. Thank God. Girl, I just opened the wrong book. It's okay. I finished that book at 11, I want to say, and was just like, what did I just read? In a good way. Like, I'm so stressed and I'm so scared. I actually had to stop reading yesterday, because not fully because of the book, but I had some anxiety with some other stuff going on yesterday, and in reading the book at like the 60 to 75% mark, I was like, I'm really stressed out and this book is making my anxiety worse. So I had to put it down, and I said, you know what, I'm going to finish it in the morning. I got like an hour and a half of this book left to finish, and I did that. And I'm honestly so glad I did it, because I probably would have been climbing up the walls. They would have had to put me away. Like, it was bad in a good way. I love this series so much. Oh, it's so good. Oh, look, this book is so good. It's so good. And Blue was watching me, and he was just like, the reactions I had, I was like, and it's really good. It's a really good series. Book 5, City of Lost Souls, I gave 4.75. Genuinely, I might bump it up to 5, just like I said, and Fallen Angels can be a 4.75, really 4.8 in my brain. But I don't know what Cassandra Clare has put in this series. I don't know if it's the readability of her writing, the characters and their growth and development. I have never read a book in this series where I have disliked any of the female main characters or even the male characters, but specifically the female main characters in fantasy books, whether it's YA or adult, especially if they're newer, have this thing where it is like heavily focused on how tiny they are or how much people doubt them or anything under that umbrella. And Claire and Izzy and Maya are just so, I'm here to get stuff done. Like I know I'm good. I don't need you to tell me I'm good. It's great that you said it, but I'm not this tiny thing that can't be taken care of. I can take care of myself. I can take care of the people I love. I love that Cassandra made it so that these girls, my girls, they fight and they fight hard. And I'm gonna even put Jocelyn in this. Jocelyn, hey, love her. I love her. She's great. She's a great mother. All of the women in this series, in this story, they fight so hard, and it's never been anything annoying where I'm like, oh my god, like how many times are we gonna say that this person is this way and can't do something because they're this way? Like, it's never been that. It's just the, okay, something's going on. Oh, my man's in trouble. Let me go get my man. Let me go save my man. Something wrong with Claire, man. Oh, she gonna go get him. She gonna go save him. And that's what I love. I love just a action packed, but also moments where we're really feeling some stuff. Fantasy book series where things are happening and it's not a fight of, I'm gonna prove to these people that I'm not this or I'm not whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't know. I just really enjoy that. It just makes it feel so worth it. And even in the Infernal Devices, it was nothing like that either. I've just never finished a book in this series and have been annoyed and have ever thought, I don't want to finish it. I have never finished a book in this series where I don't want to go to the next book. And that is saying something, because I have so many series back there that I have started where I'm like, yeah, I can put this on hold for months, maybe a year, until I get to the next book. I am eating these books up. And I'm so sad that I don't have the copy of the 5th and 6th book, but trust they will be bought. But for right now, I'm going to read the 6th book on my Kindle, and that is where I'm going to leave you. This has been great. This has been fun. Honestly, I don't know. Like, this has just been, it's very diverse. The things I've read are kind of all over the place, but in the best way. I got a romance, I got some fantasy, I got some fiction in here, but they're all different. The vibes are different, and I love that. So that's where I'm gonna leave you. If I'm gonna recommend any one book, or I guess series, read The Shadowhunters. If you love the Infernal Devices, but you hadn't read this yet, because I know a lot of people have read that series and have not finished or have started or whatever. The Shadowhunters, the Mortal Instruments, please do get past the first book. I'm gonna tell you right now, get past the first book. It's not real. But what I can tell you, once you get to the 5th book, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? What the hell? Because that's how I felt. What you think you feel in that first book, when that little tidbit of so and so being siblings, let me tell you right now, that's not true. But the situation towards the end, I would say like 70 to 80% of the 5th book. What is it? Lost Souls? Girl. But it's worth it. Frick Sebastian. I'm glad I put my middle finger down here because you can't see, but frick Sebastian. I can't stand him, and he's a freak and he's a weirdo. So that's your only warning. Outside of that, it's delicious. I can eat it up. I can eat this story up, and I'm so sad that it's gonna end, because then I'm gonna have to continue, because I want to read all the 21 books that are in this 21 plus or however many that's in this whole universe, and I'm gonna have to get to know other people, and I don't want to. So who knows? I might finish the 6th book and just turn around and go right back to the first one. I own them. I can do that. That's free will. Thank you so much for watching. This has been great. This has been fun. And I probably will have like a reading vlog or something soon. Maybe, possibly, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you so much. Let me know if you read any of these books and how you feel about them. I would love to have a chat, love to have the conversation. Okay. Bye bye. Bye bye now.